Welcome back to Swordbox. Today we arrive at the last of the 12 minor prophets and the last book of the Old Testament, Malachi. In fact, it would be the last time that God would speak to his people through a prophet for 400 years, until the arrival of John the Baptist, who God makes reference to in Malachi chapter 3, verse 1. The author of this book is Malachi, and the time of prophecy is around the late 5th century BC. In this short 4-chapter book, God again must confront the sins of his people. First, he reminds them of his love, then he begins rebuking the priests, and then to the people. Today I want us to look at an amazing promise that God gives to his people if, as he says in chapter 3:10, they bring all the tithes into the storehouse. Now, regardless of how you understand giving and tithing, there is no doubt from reading the Old Testament and New Testament alike that giving is something we as Christians are expected to do. And we're expected to do it with a willing and a cheerful heart. Now, God is addressing the fact that his people are robbing him because they are not giving their tithes and their offerings. Now, here God challenges his people to try him and see that if they give to God's house as they should, he will open up for them the windows of heaven and pour out such blessing that there will not be room enough to receive it. Now, that's some big incentive to give and give it a try. And most of us have heard this quoted often in sermons on giving. It's a great passage for us to remember. But there's another part of this that is equally rewarding in the following verse, Malachi 3:11. It says, "And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, so that he will not destroy the fruit of the ground, nor shall the vine fail to bear fruit for you in the field." So when we're faithful to put God first place in our finances, which are not really ours, we're just stewards, then he not only promises blessings, but also protections. Now, this verse clearly shows that the devourer will come to take our prosperity, yet God will rebuke and protect. Now, does this mean I'm going to be a millionaire and I will never have a financial problem when I give faithfully to the Lord? Well, certainly not. But God means what he says. He cannot lie. And he does bless us when we give, and he protects us as well. Now, I know from my own experience, if I get away from giving, it doesn't seem to be very long before the financial strain comes in, and it seems like one thing after another goes wrong, and all of these things cost a lot of money. The stress comes in, the money's gone, and I already know why. How can I possibly say that Jesus is Lord of my life if I'm the Lord of my money? It's not that God needs my money, but he is Lord of all of my life, and the financial part is one part of it. God could just say give or else, but our God is so great, so loving, and so good to us that he offers us so much for so little. You know, knowing that God is in charge of my money and that he is my protector financially gives me the peace and comfort that no matter what happens, I'll be okay because God's in charge. You know, money carries many people away, chasing after the wind and serving the God of money. I encourage you, and I encourage myself as well, to get started giving. Set the first part of your income aside for God each week. He deserves not our leftovers, but our very best. And watch how God can bless your life as well as bring protection financially. And see how your money, which is a temporary thing, can be used for purposes such as reaching people with the gospel of Jesus Christ, which is an eternal thing. Well, God bless you. Tomorrow we'll be starting in on the New Testament, or the New Covenant, as we finish 66 books in 66 days. God bless you. We'll see you back here tomorrow.